welcome to Barn Burner TV network on Zingo TV channel 250. Please remember to download both the Barn Burner and Zingo TV apps in their respective store on iOS and Android devices. And while you download, make sure to rate and leave a comment. Both apps are for free. Zingo TV is also available on Google Chromecast, Amazon Fire, and Fire TV Sticks, Roku, and Roku Sticks. Also on all smart TVs 2016 forward. Thank you so much, Audrey, for tuning in. Audrey
Hi.
LeCrone, hi, will be our guest for today. She's been offering American accent training for over 6 years. She's also a professional actor and she works with actors for accent reduction. Audrey, your baby
Yes.
is too cute. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. We'll be hearing her, I think, in this interview. She'll have some things
Yeah.
to add in.
But I think she's so quiet. That's what I feel.
Yes, usually she is.
So tell me, Audrey, how's life post quarantine?
Well, in the US, we're still in a quarantine. Some things are opening up, but it's still, our cases are still pretty bad here. So I'll let you know maybe next year how life is post quarantine.
Yeah. But with the pandemic, it's hard for someone living in New Orleans where there's always like live music and it's like a vivid city. That's what you told me. So
Yes,
it's
it's
hard.
horrible. There's usually I'm going out dancing to live music 2 to 3 times a week. And now
Okay.
we haven't had any. We had a neighbor who we heard practicing the bass guitar the other day, and my husband and I were
Yeah.
like, "Is that music? What?" And we're like looking out our window and we're like, "Does he play the guitar?"
It's like something new. And
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Audrey, you moved to New Orleans from 7 years and now it's your favorite city, I guess.
Yes, I had visited when I was in college and I was like, whoa, it had become my favorite city in the US then when I had visited for the first time. So it's just so colorful. Like I live in a bright purple and pink house, and that's not weird. It's very, very colorful, and the people
I
are
love that.
strange and amazing and artistic. Yeah, it's a great, great city.
So you found yourself in this city,
Yes.
your character.
Absolutely. There's always parades and events, and people are dressing up in costumes. It's really, really fun.
And that's what you used to do when you were a kid. You used to
Hmm.
dress up and
Yes, exactly. So I think that's why I love this city because it's everything that I did as a kid, like play
so
music and dress up in a costume and just act a fool. And it's normal here.
so
It's
it's
completely normal.
your childhood dream like coming true.
Yeah, it is. It's like when you're a kid and you imagine your dream house and your dream life, and it's just bogus. It's so strange. This one actually worked. So I do live in my bright purple house, and I do have, my closet full of costumes.
Your baby also, you think like she'll become like you?
I hope so. I've been dressing her up in costumes now, just in case she doesn't like it later.
So what about Kansas? Like, do you miss your old home?
I do. Sometimes I do, definitely. I grew up in a little teeny tiny town, and we're like a farming family there. And I had all of my aunts and uncles and cousins and grandparents there. And so it was a really fun, innocent way to grow up.
And this place like helped you shape your creativity, the way of thinking, and you started thinking of making up your own opportunities. And here you are now, an accent coach and actress.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That is what happens in a small town. You have to create your own opportunities because there are none. So it helps you
Okay.
get creative and find, well, you get to try everything because you don't have to try out for anything. Like if there's a sports team or whatever, you don't have to be very good at it. You can just do everything and try it all and see what you like.
Yeah, absolutely. Uh, I want to tell you congratulations on your new movie, Judas. and the Black Messiah, like you were the American accent coach on this film. How was
Yes.
working with the actors and what is the story about, if you can tell us?
Yeah, absolutely. So the story of Judas and the Black Messiah is is based on a real story. Actually, in 1969 in Chicago, there's a group called the Black Panther Party, and they were working for civil rights and for the power to come back to the Black people. And there was especially one great leader. His name was Fred Hampton, and he was able to get all the people together, and he had these rousing, incredible speeches. He was a brilliant man, and he also was getting poor people of all colors together to fight against the, I don't know, the system.
Yeah.
And he was extremely successful in that. And the FBI in the US caught a hold on to him, and they actually went into his apartment in the middle of the night where he was sleeping next to his 9-month pregnant girlfriend, and they killed him.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so it's that story. So especially for what's going on in the US right now, all the racial unrest and injustice right now, it's a very telling and fitting story for the country. And it kind of just shows like, oh, maybe we haven't come so far as we thought.
So the main actor dies at the end.
Mhm.
Okay.
Spoiler
It's
alert.
like,
Actually, I did. I was sat next to the director for the whole movie
Mhm.
as the dialect coach, and so I would just be sitting next to the director. And at one point, I was like, "Shaka, I have to tell you something. I have a great idea." And he was like, "Okay." Like he was kind of annoyed by it because everyone is trying to tell the director what to do. And I was like, "I think at the end you should change it completely, rewrite history. Fred Hampton does not die. They and the cops, they get together, they have a nice Christmas dinner. It'll be really nice."
Yeah, it's a movie, so we can do anything.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
But alas, my idea did not make it into the movie.
Let's see the trailer of the movie.
Mhm.
Help actors not just to become like great with the American accent, but also like to feel comfortable when they act with the American
Right.
accent, with
So
all
I
emotions.
helped 6 actors on that show.
Yeah.
The lead actor, Daniel Kaluuya, and then 5 of the other supporting actors. Daniel is actually really British, which you would
Okay.
never know. So he was nominated for an Oscar for the movie Get Out a few years ago, and he's an incredible actor. And I helped him last year on a film called Queen and Slim, and he's always playing American characters, which is crazy. But when he talks, he's so British. And no one would ever know. So usually on set, he speaks in an American accent just to keep his the feel of it up and to feel comfortable with it.
Mhm.
And I remember the last night of shooting, when he was done, he kind of gave a speech to the crew. He started talking in his British accent on set for the first time. And as his dialect coach, I was looking around and people were kind of laughing, and they thought he was joking. They thought he was putting on an accent. Half the crew did not know he was really British.
Oh my God. So you
It
did
was
a great
so funny.
job.
Yeah, so I was like, yes, I've done my job well.
Yeah. So you used to go every day to the set
Hmm. Well,
of.
we worked together a couple months before that show because he's playing a real character, Fred Hampton. And Fred Hampton, there's recordings of him, and his voice is just, it's strange. It's very unique, and his accent is unique. And so we wanted to get it perfectly. And so it took us a while to kind of map it out and get it exact. Um, so we worked together beforehand, and then I was on set every day. I was actually pregnant with this one.
It must be hard.
Well, no one knew I was pregnant, so it was hard. I was very nauseous, throwing up every morning, and couldn't tell anyone.
And do you travel to LA like to work as an accent coach for some Netflix productions, or where are they
Actually, no,
based?
this one was in a random city in the US, Cleveland, Ohio. And so I've never worked in Los Angeles or New York. They have a
Okay.
lot of dialect coaches already there. So I just go to other places where they need someone. So usually I'll work either in New Orleans or the area around, or in wherever they need me.
Yeah, but you're doing a great job, and yeah.
And I'm very proud of that movie. I put her down.
So how do you make sure that actors are finally comfortable with the American accent?
It's really hard. Sometimes the movie production does not give you enough time to really help them get comfortable with it. So basically, I just tell them to do their best. So if they're not already comfortable with it, we can redo the voiceover later. And they just need to focus on their acting, because if they're so into the accent and they're really thinking about it and their performance is off, I'm going to get fired. So
Yeah.
their performance
So
is more important than
it
their
will
accent.
be your fault.
Not necessarily my fault. Hopefully I could help them not be in their head about it.
Who, I want to ask you, like, who is your favorite non-native American actor or actress?
Actually, just because I've worked with Daniel Kaluuya so much, I've seen how hard he works and how much he puts into his characters. And he's my good friend, but also I'm such a fan of him, because I really, really respect how he approaches the craft. And it's incredible to watch him work and to watch him break things down and to try and understand it.
You know, there's a movie coming out in 2021 about the life of Norma Jean. It's called Blondie. And Anna de Armas is going to play Malin. Although she is not a native speaker, she's Cuban, Spanish. So how do you feel about that? She's portraying a real-life figure that everyone around the globe knows.
It's going to be a lot of pressure on her. So I think they've already filmed it, haven't they?
Yeah.
So hopefully she had a dialect coach on set every day, because basically what we do is we listen to every word that's ever said. And in between takes, we'll run in and say, okay, get this word right, and then run back. And it's crazy. Actors have so much to focus on, and that's just an added layer of someone telling them what to do. So it's really difficult. But I mean, I hope she nails it, because she does have an accent when she speaks. And like she did Knives Out, she has a really lovely, slight accent. So hopefully she got it great.
Yeah, I hope so. You know, Rosamund Pike said in an interview, like, for any English actor, spend your money on dialect coach and master the American accent, because it's way more useful.
Yeah. Well, there's a ton of British and Australian and other native English speakers in Hollywood who, if they can do an American accent, they're able to be considered for every part that an American is. And I think Americans have a thing for accents. So if we hear someone who's British who can also do a perfect American accent, we're just like, oh, well, they're an amazing actor. Like, I think we have this thing that in our psyche as Americans that if we hear a British person, we're like, well, they must be an amazing actor. We just assume they're incredible.
How much time usually it takes to achieve the total, like, accent reduction, if I can say?
Years.
Yes.
Yeah. If people are going for total, well, it depends also. It depends on, some people have a really good ear naturally, and they're able to just do it and imitate. They wouldn't need someone like me to help them. But most people need some guidance in it and just to figure out where they're going wrong. It also depends on if you speak English as a native language, or if you speak another language as your native tongue.
Yeah.
It's a lot of factors.
Yeah. Did you ever teach American accent to an American?
Yeah, actually.
And
Um,
why?
there's Well, like I'm working with a retired man right now who is from Louisiana, from the South, and he has a very strong accent. And the accent down here, Eliza, you have something to say. um, the accent down here is kind of stereotyped as people are dumb or uneducated. So even though he's retired and he's a great grandfather, we just put her pacifier in. Oh yes, he wants to reduce his accent and learn a general American accent because he wants people to take him more seriously, which is interesting. I just
love
told him
that.
that's really sad, and I'm sorry, and I'll help you, but I feel bad about taking away your natural accent. So what I try to do in those cases is I try to teach people how to turn it on and turn it off. So you're able to turn on the general American accent when you want, and then if you have some sort of a Southern accent like this, then you can talk like this with your family and still feel like you belong, but then you can talk like this if you need.
Okay.
That's
So
always my goal.
tell us about some of the techniques that you use.
There are so many techniques. For a lot of people, it's they're not going to be able to hear the sounds at first. So it's all about feeling the sounds in your mouth. And it's like, I always say, it's like taking your mouth to the gym. So if you go to the gym, you work on different muscles and different parts of your body. Same thing if you're working on your accent, you have to look at the muscles in your mouth. So we stretch out the tongue and we learn how to move the tongue differently, and the jaw and the lips. And so it's a lot of strange exercises at first. And then it's breaking down sounds. So if I say an R differently, it's figuring out what that difference is in R's and how we can feel one and the other.
And do you post things online like about you teaching the American accent that people can check maybe?
Yes, I had really grand plans for the start of this pandemic, I have to say. I was still pregnant, and I have like a list of 15 videos that I had planned to shoot to make free for everyone. And I got really stressed with the pandemic and being pregnant, and then other things came up, and I just was kind of a mess. So, and then I got very pregnant and very uncomfortable. So I was like, I can't film these.
You can do them later. So
right. That being said, I'm hoping to start that soon. So I have other videos available that I've done before, but I'm hoping to get some more free content out there for people very soon.
So now we're switching to your acting life, Audrey the actress.
Yes, now Audrey the actress versus Audrey the dialect coach.
So were your parents in love with Audrey Hepburn?
Yes, that's kind of what I was named after.
Wow.
So I was kind of named after Audrey Hepburn. I think they just liked the name. And so I grew up watching her films and she's just lovely.
And did she inspire you to become an actress or to something else?
I don't know if she really did. I think I just liked telling stories, and I liked playing pretend. I liked wearing costumes, which I still do. And I wanted to entertain. I really enjoyed seeing people laugh and smile and being able to sing and dance and make someone's day better. So I think that's why I got into it, to be honest.
You studied acting with a BA of Fine Arts and Acting from Oklahoma City University, and you acted in different films and musicals. Was it a tough journey?
It's been an interesting journey. It hasn't been tough. It's been a lot of work, and I haven't had much success as an actor. I've been in some films that have won a lot of awards, but in terms of, getting like a Warner Brothers movie or some big Hollywood movie, I haven't had much of that, which I'm kind of okay with. This baby is loud. Usually she's so quiet. Pacifier?
Maybe she wants to say something.
She might. Let me just pick her up and see. Are you an actress too?
Hey,
You might be
Eliza.
an actress too. Hello. Yeah, this is what you wanted. So I don't remember the question. Oh, has it been a hard journey?
Yeah.
It's been fun, honestly. I've had some great experiences. I've had some tough experiences, and everything that you do as an actor just helps you grow because you're mimicking real life. So any experience you have in real life helps you as an actor because now you can recall that and be like, oh yeah, I remember how that felt. I can do that on screen.
So you understand actors more now.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of times as a dialect coach, I can kind of sense when someone is not able to do it all or when they're just overwhelmed, because that happens sometimes in acting. And so I can know when to step back and be like, okay, don't worry about it. Just do whatever. You can redo it in voiceover.
Don't stress.
Yeah. Or sometimes it just turns into therapy, and they're like, I can't do this. I'm like, yes, you can. Because I know what it takes to act, and it's making your emotions really raw and making it's a very vulnerable place to be because you are yeah, I know it's very vulnerable, Eliza. You are putting yourself out there for everyone to see.
Who supported you the most at home?
At home, Eliza, my parents were very, very supportive. They're both, even though we come from a very small conservative town, they're both artists of some sort. My mother is a painter, and my dad is a musician, English teacher, writer. And so I kind of always felt like I could do whatever I wanted to do. My dad always said, find what you love to do and then figure out how to make money at it.
Okay.
And so I really felt supported and like I could do anything. And their only thing was that I enjoyed what I was doing, which is not like a lot of parents, from what I understand. They were never saying, be a doctor or a lawyer. Do what you like.
It's all the same all over the world.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can see that you are both, your mom and your dad. Your dad is a teacher and your mom is an artist. So
Yep, exactly. I am a good mix of them.
yeah.
Yeah, and I play music some as well. So I get to play with my dad some, which is fun. And my dad was actually my English teacher in high school.
Whoa.
Yeah. So it was pretty funny. He was literally my teacher. So he did inspire me to become the teacher that I am.
And so tell me, are you working on any new projects as an actress soon? Any new auditions?
I wish. I'm not yet. I haven't told my agent that I'm back yet from my maternity leave, just because my body still hasn't completely recovered from pushing this one out, and so I'm not quite there yet, but I'm hoping to be back soonish. We'll see.
What role is your favorite to play?
I honestly really love playing dumb people. I love comedy, and if you are, I know it's
Yeah.
because if you play a game like you don't know what anything is, like, oh, this is a baby, what do I do with it? Or this is a pen, what's that? You just play a game in your head where you don't know what anything is, and everything makes you question things. And when you have a role that you can do that with, it's so fun.
Yeah. So you enjoy playing these type of roles?
Yeah, just silly silly characters. I don't often get cast in those, unfortunately. So before I was pregnant, I would make skits and film skits with actor friends, and so we would get to do more of that. But in real projects, I don't get cast as much as those.
I believe you like to play une Parisienne who lives in Paris. I saw your videos. They are so clever and cute. Like,
yeah, I actually filmed that with my French friend. So I pretend that I'm teaching her how to be French, and I'm just saying like English words that we say.
like
that
what? Tell us something.
Like croissant, latte. That are, latte is not a French word, but that I think it's French. It's again playing the stupid characters. Croissant and a crêpe, café au lait. So basically, I would just say food items that are the same in French. And
so tell us about your previous acting role that you played and got stuck in your head for long time, maybe.
A lot of times, well, every role in a way does that. It only becomes bad when it stays in your head after you're done shooting. So a lot of times I'll get done shooting something, and then a year later, the movie still hasn't come out, and I'm like, wait, I should have made this choice. That's a hard thing about acting on film, is that you don't get to see your work for a long, long time. Like, I have 2 films that are in festivals right now, and since their festivals have all kind of been shut down because of the pandemic, I haven't gotten to see the films. And so I'm kind of second guessing what I did. I'm trying to remember it in my head. And there's one in particular where I have a Louisiana accent, like I'm from a swamp. And so I'm like, did I do it okay? I don't even know. I haven't seen any of the footage. So
that's really difficult.
Yeah, it's gotten into a lot of festivals, so it must not be bad, but we'll see. I don't know. Oh, baby girl. I'm sorry. Are you getting tired?
So tell us, what is your biggest motivation when standing in front of the camera?
Well, I try to go for a truthful performance. And I try to, like, when the camera's right there, you have to get into the mindset of, okay, what would I actually be doing in this moment? Because it's really an art form to be able to both ignore the camera and be aware of it, so you're not turning your head in a completely weird way for the camera angle. So it's always a struggle at that moment to go back to your truth of what you're really trying to portray in that moment. So you have to remind yourself what's just happened in the movie script. How did I feel about it? What's happened right before this? Because a lot of times movies are shot out of order. So that's my biggest motivation. I don't have like, okay, do it for grandma or whatever. I don't have a good motivation like that. It's just like,
no, yeah.
Be truthful. People are going to watch this later.
Audrey, we'd like to see your acting real.
Sure. Look at the grass shot.
Like, I'm actually trying to not photograph you, but you actually look too good for me not to.
Whatever, stop.
Did that line work?
Yeah,
okay,
dude,
good.
keep going.
Wait, is it not going?
Oh, did you break it? Great.
Oh,
it only took us.
wait,
oh,
hold on, it went.
If anybody
On my
asks,
level.
this isn't why we use this camera.
Honestly, it's the best day because everyone's just here.
Would you like to dance?
Sure. Right now? Let me just put this down. Thank you. Here.
It's right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
don't think this is gonna work.
No, you don't have to come if you don't want to.
I mean, us. I think we should stop seeing each other.
But I love you.
I know.
She cried for you in the hospital. She screamed your name and you were non-existent. You couldn't be bothered with anything less than perfect. No.
Well, now you've done it.
You change a lot of characters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I always have a different look. At one point, I had a neighbor who I was changing my look a lot then, and I was like, "Oh, hey!" They were like,
He didn't know
"Me,
you.
Audrey." Oh.
It's an amazing reel, by the way.
Thank you.
Audrey, we still have few minutes, and I have some questions to ask, random questions, okay?
Go ahead.
What is your favorite Audrey Hepburn's line from one of her movies?
I like in Breakfast at Tiffany's when she is just meeting the guy and she's like, "Oh, cat," and she's like finding the cat and she says that the cat has no name.
Okay.
So sweet. And she's just like so random and she's like looking in the fridge for her phone or her slippers or something.
Which actor do you think excelled in the American accent and why?
Honestly, there are so many who do really, really good work. You can look up lists online of like American or actors with American accents who aren't American. And you'll see so many and you'll be like, wait, what?
You would, yeah.
Yeah, there's some that I'll look up and I'll still be like, no way. They're British or whatever they are. It's incredible.
And what nationalities were the hardest to coach the American accent to?
It is very difficult sometimes for Japanese speakers, just because their language is so different. It can be very difficult sometimes for Indian English, because that accent can be so strong. It can be hard to do an American after that. But I do have some Indians who can do it. Let's see, it can also be hard just for random people sometimes who don't quite have the ear for it or their mouth has strange muscles. Spain and France can be also difficult countries to come from.
You as an actress, what is your biggest insecurity when standing in front of the camera?
That it will look fake. I'm so scared that, that it won't be truthful and that it'll look like an actor doing this. And also my other insecurity is I have really big eyes and in real life I'm like doing this all the time. Like, oh, yeah. But on screen it looks like a crazy person. So I have to kind of always like shut my eyes a little bit. So that's probably my biggest insecurity.
And which actor you would love to play a leading role with?
Oh gosh. Anyone. I haven't acted in so long. I've been pregnant for so long. I'll take anyone.
What about Ryan Gosling?
Yeah, sure. I like the way he's so casual with things. Actually, I don't think I would do well with him, to be honest. I think he's a great actor, but he's like so chill and cool. I'm like so high strung. I don't know if our energies would mesh very well. I would try, but I would have to try really hard to be that cool.
And if you could choose someone famous to coach right now, who would you choose?
I would choose I would choose someone who's cool in real life, because a lot of times you don't know who's on screen. They seem to be one person and you're like, "Ooh, I want to coach them." But honestly, I want to coach someone who is easy to work with and who is not going to have a big screaming match on set and lose their temper and be crazy.
And can you name someone?
Oh, can I name someone who I would like to coach?
Yeah.
Gosh, there's so many people. Kate Winslet.
Kate Winslet. Okay.
She already has a dialect coach that she's had for like 20 years. So she won't need me, but still, it'd be so fun. I could fill in for a day.
If you have to choose between Penelope Cruz or Marion Cotillard.
Ooh. I don't know if I could choose to coach them or act with them. Or be their friend.
Choose someone.
All of the above?
Yeah.
Maybe Penelope Cruz.
Okay.
Because she's such an icon. Marianne, she seems so cool, like Ryan Gosling, you know?
Yeah.
I think I'd be like, "Hey," and she'd be like, "Hey, how are you doing?" I'd be like, "Hi."
Anything you find funny in the American accent?
Yes, most of the times when I'm teaching it, especially to people who are non-Native Americans, I just say how it feels like you're a fat, lazy man living inside of your mouth, like, and he's also drunk. So if you just relax your mouth and don't do anything with your tongue and just relax your jaw as well, and you kind of feel like you've had 3 glasses
American
of wine.
accent. This is
You got it.
with
That's
a meal burger right beside.
Yeah, huge burger and a piece of pizza. Soda. I got the American accent. Hey, man. Yep, that's it. That's all there is to it.
And if you had only one choice, acting or American accent coaching, what would you choose?
That would be a really hard choice. I think as of right now in my career, I would choose dialect coaching just because I've been able to work with bigger people and bigger projects than I have with acting. Mm-hmm. And I've been able to make more of an impact. So some of the films that I've worked on are huge budget films. And so it's really cool to be able to work with the main actors of those films. As an actor, I'm almost 30. So it's like, well, if I haven't made it by now, I'm only going to play in independent movies and have supporting roles in bigger movies at this point, which is fine. And I love that. And also working with these big actors on the big movies, I see how much pressure they're under and how it's not always glorious up at the top. We think it's all fame and fortune, and it's
really not like hard. That. Yeah.
It's not. It's a lot of pressure.
Even an experienced actor, like maybe after 15 years, he still needs an accent coach.
Yeah. Some people have it as more of a security blanket. Okay. Some people have it so that they don't have to worry about their accent on set and that they can just focus on their acting. And some people have it because they need it. Mm-hmm. And other people like Kate Winslet or, some other people like that, they'll maybe play different accents. So they'll need their coach for different roles.
So I'm so happy we had this conversation today. You are truly amazing.
Thank you. So are you. I'm so glad we could do this.
Yeah, I'm so happy. And I have to say, we are at the end of the show now, and thank you for joining us. Thanks for the people who are watching us. And I want to tell you that this show can be also heard on the Barn Burner Radio Network on its 122 platforms. Please check out barnburner.ca for all the news. Thank you, Audrey, so much for being here.
Thank you,
Until
Mia.
next time.
It was a pleasure.